Previously on All My Children.
I had nothing to do with that story.
And I suppose you didn't send that guy to me either.
His name was Braden.
Well, maybe Braden's a friend of Ryan's and he's just trying to defend him.
Why on earth are you risking our lives like this? You want to tell Liza what Adam did in front of all those people. What happened with Raquel?
Pack your bags. We're out of here. You've got to rest. It's been a long night. No, don't speak. You need your strength to get well, darling.
What happened?
Look, I'm telling you for the last time, I don't care what newspaper you're from. I don't care what magazine you write for. I got nothing to say about Kit Fisher. Yeah, fine. You need a quote? Quote this. I am so tired of this ridiculous... All right, that's it. Rudy, I want you to do me a favor, all right? I want you to mind the store. I want you to keep the press at bay. All right, I'm heading out the back.
Where are you going?
I gotta put an end to this nonsense.
Damn, I'm late for the courthouse.
Hey, not so fast, mister.
Hey, Dixie, I'm sorry. I gotta go.
That's too bad. No, you have to be right here. Coughing up an explanation I can live with.
Montgomery, would you comment on this morning's headline?
No, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I have no comment.
Is it true Kit Fisher has a history of lying?
Were you arrested, Crowd Rape before, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an evidentiary hearing. This is not a trial. If there's any statement to be made, it will come from my office. Now, excuse me.
Looks like our DA is a little out of sorts today, huh?
Well, how sweet of you to care, Trevor.
Oh, it wouldn't have anything to do with it. You're about to get this big rape case tossed out the window. Because when the judge agrees to my motion to suppress the DNA, it's one small step, and the case is dismissed.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Without the DNA evidence, what do you got? You got that Kit Fisher on the stand, and what's she got to show for herself? Good time, uncorroborated story?
You must be feeling sure of yourself.
Champagne on New Year's Eve.
I'll give you a tip. Don't pop any corks yet.
Jillian, what are you doing here?
You want to leave Wild Wind today, this minute?
Yeah.
What happened up there? Uncle Trevor said that you went up to talk to Raquel about what happened the night Max disappeared. She admitted it, didn't she?
Trevor was right. She faked the whole thing. She took him out of the park. She drove him to the hunting lodge. And she kept him there while everybody was looking for him.
Oh, Mateo, I'm so
You know, I
sorry.
was digging through the snow with my hands, looking for my son. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. What kind of person does that, huh?
Desperate person. She was desperate. That's the only explanation that fits Mateo. I just don't understand how she can take the most precious thing in her life and use him against you. I was so sick with worry when I thought that I lost that beautiful little boy.
I'm sorry she put you there.
I'm the enemy.
Listen, about the way I acted, I didn't know. I just didn't know where my son was.
It's
Okay.
Once an alcoholic, always a
No. It's not that. It's just that we're not used to kids around.
You're right.
No?
You're right. Actually, you were pretty polite. Had it been me, I would have torn your head off.
Oh, let's go back.
Pack, where are you going?
We're moving out of Wildwind.
No, you can't do that. Watch us. Mateo, please, you can't. You can't just pack up and go.
Raquel, we're going. And there's nothing you can do to stop us.
I thought I would die when the judge took Max away from me. I was just trying to get him back. I was desperate. Can't you understand that? You know something, Raquel? I've done many desperate things in my life, but the one thing I've always prided myself on was never deliberately hurting my family. Max wasn't hurt. He didn't come home with a bruised chin or a skinned knee. But there are different kinds of scars, like the emotional scars you create when you teach your child to lie. Look, it was just that one time, I swear, Mateo, I never ever had...
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We're leaving, and it's final.
But wait, what about me and Max? I'm sure that Edmund will let you stay here temporarily. And Max? What happens to Max?
He comes with us.
I shared some very personal information with you, and you went straight to the press with it. I would like to know why.
The press?
Don't you know that Kid Fisher's entire history with Tad was front page news this morning?
I didn't see it.
Well, maybe you didn't have to see it, because you certainly leaked it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, would you just stop it? Would you knock it off? Every fact that I told you in confidence, the rape, how Tad was falsely accused, every detail was in the morning papers. Now, I know I didn't do it. I certainly don't think Tad did it. I'm pretty sure that Kit wouldn't want her court case blown sky high. So that leaves you. Why did you do it?
I'd like an answer to that myself. Jillian, what are you doing here?
Ryan, I know you don't want me here, but I had to come.
What, to deliver my mail?
No, it's for me. They delivered it this morning at the boarding house. It's a something.
The subpoena.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. This is no joke. He wants her to testify.
Why?
I don't know. Let me find out.
All rise. The First District Court of Pine Valley is now in session. Judge Souza presiding.
Take your seats. Let's get this hearing underway. Mr. Dillon, I've reviewed your motion to suppress the DNA evidence taken from your client, Ryan Lavery. As I understand it, the blood sample was taken involuntarily.
That's right, Your Honor. My client was denied legal counsel when the district attorney coerced him into taking this blood test.
Is true, Mr. Montgomery? No, Your Honor. In fact, it is absolutely not true, and I can prove it. We have but to ask the defendant, Ryan Lavery.
Don't touch the bandage, love. Don't touch the bandage. You don't want to get infection.
So thirsty.
Thirsty. There's some water here. And a straw. Here you are, sweetheart. Better?
Mother.
I used to enjoy getting it with ginger ale. Just to tingle up my nose.
I wish my mother was here.
I know you wish your mother was here. She is, darling. She will always be here when you need her.
Operation.
Yes. Yes, they put some stitches round your heart. But you're going to be just fine.
I don't remember.
Don't you remember anything about last night, darling? No. Well, I'll get the doctor to explain it all to you.
No. No. You. Tell me.
Me. Oh, darling. You're so beautiful. Sweetheart, your face was cut. When the car went into the truck, some pieces of metal, they smashed through the windshield, and they cut you on the chest. And on the face.
I'll be all right. Oh, Levy, you all right?
You know, Erica's a very lucky woman. The only reason she survived that car crash is because she happened to have one of the finest cardiac surgeons in the country by her side. Still does, which is why I'm confident that she's going to recover from her chest wounds.
Joe, with no disability, no diminished energy?
Oh, Erica.
Yeah. What about her face?
Well, that I can't say.
Joe, the nurse told me about this plastic surgeon, Dr. Weiss. He's supposed to work miracles.
Yes, well, he's a very fine physician. I've seen his work.
Well, I'd like to talk to him. Can you arrange that?
Yes, sure. Why don't you come with me and I'll have him paged.
All right.
I'll be all right.
Yes, of course you'll be all right, darling. Do you know, I once knew a trapeze artist who tumbled and he had more bandages than you have.
His face?
His head, yes, his face and his arms and his hands. And you know, in a couple of weeks, he was back doing 14 shows a week. All you're going to need, darling, is enough time to heal. You'll always be the most beautiful woman I know. Oh, Dr. Hayward. Darling, here's Dr. Hayward. He'll explain it all to you.
No.
Funny thing happened on the way to work today, Braden. I was followed by every media hack in the business.
Well, I already told Pixie I haven't seen the morning papers yet.
Well, let me tell you who has. My son, my son's mother, all my son's friends.
Look, Tad, the rape case, it's public record.
That rape case was ancient history, and you know it.
Well, maybe the press did a background check on you.
Forget it. You sold me out, Braden. And just for the record, I don't appreciate having one of the worst experiences of my life being made public. The press is all over me, for God's sake. We had to shut down the switchboard at work. I call home from my message and my machine's filled with requests for interviews. And if that's not bad enough, I just talked to Brooke. 2 guys showed up at her front door wondering where Jamie went to school.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Let me tell you something, pal. If anybody goes after my son, I am coming after you. Now, why the hell did you do it?
Mr. Lavery, if you would, walk me through the events leading up to the blood test in question.
Of course, Your Honor. Well, I was in jail, ready to sack out for the night when the DA arrived, and he started hammering me, told me how he'd love to see me rot in jail, how miserable I was, and then he just stopped, and he pulled a complete 180, offered me a trade, my freedom for a DNA test.
And what was your reply?
Well, I said no. My lawyer had specifically told me not to.
This true, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, Your Honor, but Mr. Lavery agreed to have his blood drawn nonetheless.
What the DA's not telling you, Your Honor, is why he was in jail in the first place. He was there on a trumped-up assault charge, so he
Your Honor,
coerced him into taking a
because
blood
he
test.
was charged with assault by an upstanding member of this community.
Yeah, who happens to be dating the complainant in the rape charge, living in his house. This whole thing stinks from smelling bad, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, please. Mr. Lavery, you made the statement that I began to hammer you. Did I beat you? Did I send men into your cell with rubber hoses to truncheon you into submission? Were you harmed in any way?
He may not have held a gun to my head, Your Honor, but he threatened my wife.
What? Hey, Your Honor, at no time did I threaten Mr. Lavery's wife.
I remember the exact words. He said if I didn't cooperate, that he would take the rape charges public, that my wife wouldn't even be able to walk down the street or buy a tube of lipstick without being laughed at or humiliated. He even suggested a title for the piece, Your Honor. The Princess and the Rapist. See, I couldn't let my wife get hurt like that. So yes, I agreed to take the damn blood test.
You can't rip a little child away from his mother.
You know what? I trusted you. And you used my son against me. I'm not making that same mistake again.
Look, for his sake, Mateo, please, I'll do anything you ask. Just don't put Max through this. He needs me.
Why do you think I brought you here? For him. But you weren't thinking of him.
Just one more chance.
One more chance to what? Kidnap him? Play games with his head? Mind games. With a little boy who depends on you to teach him right from wrong, not how to lie to his father. Mind games. What were you thinking? Come on. Putting him through that kind of pressure.
I didn't tell her a secret, Mommy. I swear I didn't.
No.
All My Children will be back in a moment here on ABC.
No, mijo. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong.
Don't tell about the game, Mommy. I swear I didn't.
I know you didn't, baby. I know. You kept our secret just like Mommy asked you to.
Your mommy's right. Listen, you did the right thing. Just what your mom told you. Okay? You should always listen to your mom and dad.
I tried, Daddy.
I know. And look, I need to talk to you about something, okay? We gotta leave here, all right? We gotta move out of Wildwood.
I just remembered the most awesome thing. Sammy got to bring home his class gerbil. Do you want to go upstairs? It's in his room. You can see it.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask your mommy if she can take you upstairs to see him?
Hey, Mommy?
Of course, mijo.
And then we'll finish our little talk later, okay? But don't put your fingers in the cage.
Okay, come on, Mommy.
Come on.
What are you doing? What's that all about? The gerbil? What?
I'm not upstairs yet.
Haley, this is settled. As soon as we're packed, we're out of here, okay? And I've got to tell him. I've got to talk to him.
No, you don't. We can't leave now.
Is that true, Counselor? Did you threaten the defendant's wife?
No, Your Honor, I did not. I simply pointed out how miserable her life could very well be should the press get wind of this story.
Is that why you sicked Pinkerton on Jillian? Because you cared about her?
Trevor, that's hardly germane to the point.
Oh, the hell it ain't.
Somebody want to tell me who Pinkerton is?
Immigration, Your Honor. The DA threatened to have Mrs. Lavery's green card revoked.
Your Honor, long after the night in question, Mrs. Lavery was arrested for aiding and abetting her husband, who was a fugitive from an arrest warrant. Now, I did contact the INS because I needed to be quite sure what her citizenship status was before I brought charges.
So you used the threat?
I used the law.
To your own advantage.
No, Trevor, to the advantage of the people who put me in this position and whom I am sworn to protect. What the hell is the matter with that?
Gentlemen.
Your Honor, he is so gung-ho to win this case, he will do anything, including coerce my client into taking this DNA test.
Your Honor, I maintain all I did is what any good district attorney would do. I tried to bring a criminal to justice.
And I maintain the district attorney's judgment has been clouded by the fact that the alleged rape victim is his sister.
All right, let's get this out of the way right now. Yes, Your Honor, she is my sister, and I love my sister. And in fact, I believe in my sister. But that prompted no illegal action toward Mr. Lavery. Your Honor, it's very apparent to me, and I hope it is equally apparent to this court, that Counselor's motion to suppress the DNA evidence is a last-ditch attempt to save Ryan Lavery's skin. The DNA results show a 70% match between the defendant and the rapist. Now, if Mr. Lavery is innocent, as he claims to be, then how the hell does he explain that?
Hey, I got an idea. How about we call Palmer Cortland, see how he feels about his niece's blood pressure spiking off the chart?
I did it to help Ryan.
Lavery.
Yeah.
Why? How do you know Ryan? What's he to you? How do you even know him?
We've got some history.
How much history?
Enough. Look, I know the guy is innocent.
How?
Look, if I had any proof, I wouldn't have gone to the press. I just wanted to help Ryan.
Yeah, so you sacrificed me?
No. I didn't see it like that. Now, this Kit Fisher, she has a history of crime rape. I wanted the public to see that, to know that, before they pulled the chain on my friend.
Yeah, well, that's terrific. You ever heard of jury tampering?
Yeah, well, the facts are important to the jury,
Yeah,
Tad.
no kidding. I would have been happy to get on a stand and tell a jury all about Kit Fisher.
Well, what's the big problem?
The problem is I don't want the world to know my business. I got a life, Braden. I got a son. Now I have to worry about Dixie and her son. I don't want to drag them into this mess.
I didn't mean to do that.
Well, that's what you did. You betrayed a confidence, not to mention a friendship.
Dixie, I am your friend.
Well, then what on earth would compel you to put her feelings on the line for some guy you obviously knew a lifetime ago?
I'm a loyal, kind guy. A guy most people would want on their side if they needed help. Now, that's all I'm going to say on the subject. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm late for something very important.
Either you tell me who the hell you are and why you did this to me, or I swear to God I'm going to find out on my own.
Good luck.
Mr. Merrick, let's be realistic. Miss Kane's injuries are extensive. The lacerations cut right into the bone. The possibilities for scarring are enormous. It won't be easy to repair.
Doctor, I don't know if she could live with that reality.
I understand. Believe me, I'll do everything within my power to make her whole again, but I have to tell you, I'm not the kind of man who can make a promise he can't keep.
Darling, he did save your life. You might not be alive if he hadn't helped you after the accident with the car.
The car?
Don't you remember?
No. I don't remember. Storm. Airport.
Well, don't press it. Right now, Erica, why don't you just let it go?
Oh, why don't I?
Well, it's perfectly natural. Trauma patients often experience some form of amnesia.
Amnesia?
Yes. Well, simply stated, your system has experienced a shock Consequently, the events leading up to the accident haven't been transferred over from your short-term memory to your long-term. But it's nothing to be worried about.
When will I remember?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Some patients do, and then some patients don't. But I wouldn't concern myself with that right now. In fact, I'm going to give you a little exercise. Whenever you feel that you're having your mind go blank, I want you to think of something wonderful that's going to happen for you in the future. Can you do that? Good. I'm going to let you rest now.
Try to sleep, sweetheart. Dr. Harewood, just a minute. Why didn't you tell Erica you were behind the wheel of that car?
Miss Kane is recovering from open heart surgery. She doesn't need to learn anything right now.
You saw how agitated she was. You could have filled in the empty spots.
Trust me, Miss Fargate, that would do more harm than good right now.
More harm? More harm than driving through a blizzard to Pine Valley? What possessed you to get into that car?
If you want to blame somebody, Miss Fargate, why don't you blame the jerk that abandoned his truck in the middle of the highway, not me?
Is there a problem here?
No, of course not. Miss Kane is resting as comfortably as can be expected. However, I believe I owe Mrs. Fargate an apology. I'm Miss Kane's doctor, but I was also in that car. And if I'm honest, I would have to say that it was probably a lot more upsetting than I've been willing to admit.
I'm sure.
You may see Miss Kane now, if you like.
Thank you.
You're right. I should have pulled over. There was complete whiteout conditions. I couldn't see a thing. But Miss Kane had that television crew waiting for her back at her house, and she insisted that we press on. Surely you're aware of how difficult it is to say no to Erica Kane?
Yes. Yes.
That's really look awful.
Look, I don't know about the DNA test, Your Honor. Maybe the lab made a mistake. Maybe they got my blood mixed up with somebody
Your
else.
Honor, that's not possible. That lab has verified and re-verified the results of that test.
That may be so, Your Honor, but it's still 70%. 70, not 100. I did not rape Kit Fisher.
Well, I have a victim who says otherwise. But, Your Honor, we're not here to decide the guilt or innocence of Ryan Lavery today. We're here to decide whether this DNA evidence is admissible in a court of law.
I agree, Mr. Montgomery. Frankly, it sounds to me like you leaned on the suspect. He repeatedly refused the test, and yet you insisted that he cooperate without advice of counsel, which leads me to want to grant Mr. Dillon's request.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can step down, Mr. Lavery.
Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to call to the stand a witness who will corroborate every statement I have made in this court today. I'd like to call Ryan Lavery's wife, Jillian Lavery, to the stand.
Objection, Your Honor. The DA cannot compel a wife to testify against her husband. It's privileged information.
Well, unless, of course, there are witnesses present. And in this case, Your Honor, there were two, myself and the lab technician there to draw Mr. Lavery's blood.
Now, he's right, Mr. Dillon. We'll hear the witness.
Mrs. Lavery, would you be so kind as to take the stand?
I have to do this.
Just answer the questions, give him nothing else. Capiche?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Have a seat. Will you please state your full name for the record?
Julian Andrashi Lavery, Princess.
No, not many women are so candid, Mrs. Lavery. Go on.
Mrs. Lavery, were you present that night that your husband submitted to the blood test?
Yes, I was. Ryan was in jail for punching Edmund Gray.
Mrs. Lavery, will you please just tell us what happened that night?
I went to jail to bail Ryan out.
And what did you see when you got there?
I saw you and I saw a technical person, and the technical person had a needle in his hand. Your Honor, I was really scared that he was going to shoot some horrible poison into his veins, so I knocked it out of his hand.
Well, that's pretty much exactly the way I remember it, too. Now, after you knocked the syringe from the lab technician's hand and it fell to the floor, you please tell us, what exactly did your husband say to you then?
Believe me, nobody wants to get away from Raquel more than I do.
Okay, well then we go. We get away.
We cannot do that. You heard Max when he walked in here. You saw his sweet little face. He's gonna think he did something wrong.
He didn't.
You know that and I know that. But Max feels things without being told. Don't you understand that? He heard the two of you arguing. He knows that his mommy and daddy are mad at each other and nobody's telling him why, so he's gonna think it's his fault.
Well, that's not true. I should go talk to him then,
No, you
right?
have to give it a rest, Mateo. Listen to me. If you take Max away from Raquel right now, he's gonna think that we are punishing him. Now, he knows that we're all moving out of here into our condos very shortly. We have prepared him for that. So it's just going to take a few more weeks.
What about Raquel?
She'll be in the condo across the street. He can see her whenever he wants
No,
to.
I'm talking about now. I mean, you'll be giving up a lot to stay here. She hurt you.
Look, all I know is I saw Max's face when he walked in here and he heard you two arguing, and I never want him to feel that way again.
Wow. That's incredible.
You know what's incredible is what I realized today.
What?
You know, when I think of you, when I picture you, I don't just see you anymore. I see you and Max. And when I think of all my dreams and hopes for us, I see three people in that picture, not just the two of us. You know what's even more incredible?
What?
I'm really happy with that picture. I mean, yeah, I had a different picture in my head, you know. I had this picture in my head that we would have our own child, and I know I didn't give birth to him, you know, and I know that he's not mine, but the way I feel about him, he's in my heart.
That's how I feel about you.
That's good. Because then you won't mind that I've fallen head over heels for another man. Your son. I'll come back later.
No. Haley and I were talking, and we've decided not to move out right away.
Thank God.
No. Thank Haley. She thinks Max will be better off, and I agree.
Oh, he will. I know he will.
But it's over, okay? As soon as those condos are ready, we're leaving.
Mrs. Lavery, will you please answer the question? What did your husband say to you when you tried to stop that technician from drawing his blood.
You said you weren't trying to hurt him. You were only trying to draw some blood.
We weren't trying to hurt him. We were only trying to draw some blood. Now, what else did he tell you? What else did your husband tell you, Mrs. Lavery?
I'm trying to think.
Well, let me see if I can help you out. Didn't he say that it was okay for that lab technician to draw his blood? In fact, didn't he say that he was anxious to take this DNA test because it would prove his innocence? Mrs. Lavery, the court is waiting. Didn't your husband say he wanted to take that blood test?
I knew it. I knew I didn't like that guy from the moment I laid eyes on him.
I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I do know Braden, okay? And I know he doesn't like to be pushed around.
Well, then why doesn't he answer a couple straightforward questions, like, who the hell are you? Why would he blow us off of Ryan Lavery? Something's wrong.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I did... When I was in the hospital, he stood up to Uncle Palmer for me, you know? So maybe it is just like what he said, you know? He's just trying to be loyal.
Yeah, to Ryan Lavery? Why?
Well, that I don't know.
Well, I'm sure as hell gonna find out.
I'm a mess.
No, you're beautiful. You're always beautiful.
Life. Tell me.
Do you remember the night that we went to that Halloween party and you were dressed as the mummy?
Bianca's idea.
Yes, it was Bianca's idea. Do you remember how much gauze we used that night? I bet it was enough to supply the hospital for an entire year. The best part of that night was when I took you home and I unwrapped you. And I kept unwrapping you. And there underneath was the gorgeous, beautiful woman that I loved. Erica, underneath these bandages is that same beautiful woman.
Just checking up on your progress.
How's she doing, Doctor?
Her heart is strong. Her blood is taking in a lot of oxygen. You're healing nicely.
Soon. Finish my TV special. Exclusive. I'm going back to Molly.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next All My Children.
Escape to romance.
Well, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love.
Add a little romance to your life with Port Charles, Your Great Escape, ABC Daytime. On the next All My Children.
This is it. Keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you for calling back so promptly, Mrs. McDougal. Do you have Braden's file?
I think I've been kidding myself about Liza's child.
I kind of hoped we could get married before the baby comes.
Sunday, March 21st, join Whoopi Goldberg for the 71st Annual Academy Awards presentation. ABC Sunday, March 21st.
You are watching ABC, home of the Academy Awards.